Some of you guys out there sweating.
I'm sweating. Look, Hasan's getting sued, okay. I'm not getting sued. Lonerbox is getting sued. That's not me. Spider.
Though theoretically,
why is spiders in the top of the fuck? Where's my one?
I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars. But the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire
dead fucking animals.
Hi there.
Hey, fuck. Okay, Ethan's dropping a nuke. A nuke. Okay? I'm gonna act surprised, okay? I'm gonna act surprised. I'm suing these 3 creators. 20-minute video. Looks like slop is back on the menu, boys. Let's go.
Hi there. My name is Ethan Klein, and my favorite hobby is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers. Today I invite you into my home to share my favorite pastime with you. Join me in creating generational wealth for my attorney. Let me tell you guys a story. About 1.5 years ago, there's a big conversation called ReactGate. ReactGate was a debate going on in the streaming community about what constituted fair use. People like Hasan, XQC, and many of the large Twitch streamers would watch other creators' entire video on their stream. They would rarely add sufficient commentary or even pause the video to speak. Most egregiously, they would re-upload the entire VOD to YouTube with the same thumbnail, the same title, so that they could cannibalize traffic from the original video. Here's what Lamino had to say about this phenomenon.
I don't mind people reacting to my videos, but I do mind when they play the entirety of my video. A face cam in the corner or the occasional interruption does nothing to address that issue. My video is still being played from beginning to end in someone else's stream or video. It's neither ethical nor necessary to feature the entirety of someone else's work. Or, you know, they could do the bare minimum and ask for permission. Something that none of the major reaction channels have ever done.
Okay. My position on this, until things change, until I've heard a better argument, is yeah, bro, I'm kind of just like stealing content. That's kind of what's happening. And the whole YouTube political sphere or whatever have just kind of made it a norm, assuming that you don't like just add nothing transformative, or assuming that you are like not doing it in some kind of bad faith, in the sense that like you're doing it with the intention to deny the other person views, like an explicit intent. Like that kind of thing is a problem. But yeah, if the rules change and they decide that like, listen, I couldn't watch Lord of the Rings on stream and just pause every couple of minutes to give my commentary and call it fair use. That's not really how that works. I do feel like I generally add substantive commentary. If I don't, I will definitely not make it a segment. And if people don't like what I've done, say like Ryan Macbeth had an issue with me reacting to stuff, so I don't really do it as much anymore. He didn't say don't do it, but you could tell he didn't like it. So, but sometimes, like, how long did it take me to react to the Ethan Hasan debate? It was like 10 hours to react to a 5-hour debate, or less than 5 hours. So that's kind of how I justify it. I feel like I add in quite a bit, and I do research, and I have perspective, and I'm occasionally silly and funny to some people, maybe. But yeah, I mean, if the precedent ever changes and they decide that what I do is not fair use, then I'll just do something else. I'll just do more video essays again, or debates. But okay, that's my position. Obviously, there is I don't know what there's a legal precedent for it, but there is a social precedent. Like, we know that getting out of your chair and fucking off in the mid-video is probably a faux pas. We know that Jinx style just saying absolutely nothing is faux pas. We know that CaseyTron, who sometimes has looping footage of herself not saying anything because she might just be asleep or in a different house or in a different country when the React stream is running. We know that is obviously very not cool. We know that, I guess, like Denims opening screens where it's like 1 hour of Al Jazeera. Yeah, that's a bit different to, I'd say, what people like me do, but you know.
They've streamed or re-uploaded my videos. But to answer your question, no, I don't want people to stream or re-upload the entirety of my videos.
Now, understandably, this made a lot of people angry because why should these content thieves, essentially, get more views than the author of the video, which in a lot of cases was happening? I mean, people don't like injustice, and we all see this and know it's not right. This debate culminated when XQC, one of the prime suspects, called into my show to debate me, in which case I'm sad to report that I was terribly owned. So in that regard, do you care at all about like IP or copyright? Or like the fact that it's illegal, does that matter? That it might be illegal, does that matter to you?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Well, if flat out doesn't, because...
But that's fair.
Watch me full screen cam, do the fucking worm, then watch your
do
prime...
That.
Then watch your prime content.
Do it for a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get.
No.
I mean, that's content, man. It's original content, at least. The ultimate debate, bro. He hit him with the worm. Oh, why didn't I think of that first?
This is me. I'm gonna, if I can't do React content anymore, I'll just debate Teuton every day for 8 hours. That's that. That'll be it. That'll be moving forward.
I kid XQC, but he is not the one I'm suing. Despite my criticism, he's not a malicious infringer. But the ones I am suing, you'll see, are much, much worse. Now, ironically, after this debate and in the wake of this large conversation, the problem seems to have only gotten worse. You have people like Hasan Piker paving the way of fair use with what's known as chair reacts, when Hasan gets up to go to the bathroom, or to eat, or to talk to his mom, or to do whatever, disappears for an extended period of time and leaves the video playing for his chair. Mr. Chair, they call it.
IDF had warned people to leave the area around the main airport.
Leave the area.
This operation will result in the killing of hostages in captivity. Will result in the death of thirds of the
Well, I've been seeing
And it was in this setting that I formulated an idea. What if I could make a long-form, irresistible piece of content that I knew that these streamers couldn't resist, they couldn't avoid the temptation of watching it the second it was published?
I don't have an issue with them.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. I knew they would watch the entire video,
so it's
add little to no
see.
commentary, react to it instantly, giving them no time to form an opinion. The trap was set, and it worked even better than I imagined it would. We captured pretty much every large streamer reacting to it in its entirety immediately after it was published. Now, the thing is, there were a few people that went above and beyond to commit copyright infringement. For example, Denims sits here silently with nearly 50,000 live viewers. That's 30 times her regular viewership. She's working directly with the Snark subreddit moderators to siphon views, and their intentions couldn't be clearer.
Wait, whoa. Have they?
Here's an excerpt from a stickied post from the Snark subreddit.
Crazy.
Hey everyone, we've seen a lot of comments about wanting to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. Here's a list of creators who've supported our sub, either by engaging with...
this is so fucking on the nose. It's like, you don't even want to give them one view. Because again, if Denims streams this video to 50,000 people, do you know how many views that video gets? One. The channel gets one view. It's so fucking spiteful.
with us directly or citing our post in their critique of H3. Here they're offering these streamers as market substitutes for my work. This is the cardinal sin of copyright infringement. The Snark subreddit has been a frequent and persistent infringer. That's how I knew when this video came out, the Snarkers were going to encourage, promote, and push streamers to commit copyright infringement. I should thank the Snarkers actually. Because of their predictability, they acted like double agents for us, incriminating their favorite streamers and serving them up on a golden platter.
no.
So thank you, Snark. It's one thing for a subreddit to admit it's engaging in copyright infringement, but how do you get the streamers themselves to admit that they're stealing content?
Well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here,
It turns out they just do it for you. You couldn't cook up a more incriminating statement if you tried. Denims, the queen of self-owning, you prevail again. There's one thing about copyright you should know is that you got to register it before you publish to be eligible for statutory damages and attorney's fees, which is the main biting force of a copyright infringement lawsuit. Well, I'm happy to tell you guys now, I, Ethan Klein, have registered Hasan Content Nuke with the United States Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating? Even though theoretically I could sue a lot more creators and rake in millions of dollars.
He's going to sue me. Wait. Wait, no, he's not suing me. Wait.
Library of Congress. Some of you guys out there sweating?
I'm sweating. Look, Hasan's getting sued, okay? I'm not getting sued. Lonerbox is getting sued. That's not me. Spider.
Though theoretically.
Why is spiders on the top of the fuck? Where's my one?
I could sue a lot more creators
Dick.
and rake in millions of dollars. But the purpose of this is not financial gain. People like XQC and Asmongold may have watched the entire thing, but I would never sue them just for doing that. I don't want to chill the reaction community into fear. Actually, the opposite. I hope that we can all unite against this type of egregious behavior that not only makes us all look bad, but could destroy the commentary community as we know it.
Well, guys.
Okay, so for Ethan, for this to not be a spite blow, right? For this to not be a spite blow, Ethan's going to have to show why this reaction, like this format from Denims, CaseyTron, etc., is more egregious than what people like me do. He's going to have to argue that.
If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime.
The state of reaction content on Twitch is so broken, these creators feel comfortable looking right into a camera and saying outright, hey, I'm stealing this guy's content. Pay me instead of him. This is not a healthy environment. And with people like Hasan reacting to entire TV shows on stream, my fear is that Sony or Disney comes along, sues everybody, and sets a devastating precedent that could endanger our entire field. Now, before I tell you who the 3 people I'm suing are, I just want to make it clear that they all met this very specific high bar of criteria that I set forth earlier. These people were not targeted based on their gender, their identity, their political beliefs. All 3 are on this list. In fact, they're the only 3, as far as I could tell, that reacted to the full video. Drum roll, please. Who's sweating at home, guys? CaseyTron, the queen of ripping farts and bong loads.
They do musicals. They're very musical people. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what do you... Look! You think I made this?
Frogan, who, bless her soul,
Jesus.
She's still rising.
Can I walk away and use the bathroom? Do I have permission?
Oh no.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happened?
And Denims, the queen of self-owning. And my God, is she the queen of that?
It's very obvious from the way that guy's talking, he's a Sneeko fan.
Oh my God, bro, I love you, Hasan. Can I give you a hug, bro?
I'm so sweaty, bro.
I love you, bro.
None of the hostages that have been released so far have said that they have been raped. The hostages have public statements. You can go look at them.
The sexual assault I experienced should never happen to any human being.
This Yemeni kid is just a Yemeni kid with a gun and is not a Houthi, and there is no proof of him being a Houthi.
Are you a soldier? Yes. That seems pretty definitive.
He never said Hassan Nasrallah was a good guy.
I can't believe I'm calling Nasrallah base. I mean, listen.
Now for the fun part. Let's take a look at the complaints, and let's start with my favorite of the 3, the very own, the prestigious, the highly acclaimed, the highly analytical CaseyTron.
Whoa! A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein.
Oh, no.
So we're going to watch it.
Well, that's a really
That's like your fucking declaration of intent. It's your... like, that's the purpose of it. Listen, there's... Chat, I know all of you guys are here because you would rather just not watch it at all than give the view to H3H3. That's crazy.
Thing to say, don't you think? Why are you so comfortable? We've given each complaint a clever little title.
Smokes more than she spoke. Well, quote.
And here's CaseyTron's. She smoked more than she spoke. CaseyTron smokes 42 times during her reaction. And just as a silly thought experiment, we thought, wouldn't it be funny if she spent more time smoking than she did talking?
Holy
thinking
shit.
there was no way that that could be true. Well, we tallied them up, and lo and behold, there's 15 minutes 40 seconds of commentary versus 18 minutes and 55 seconds of smoking. She spent 3 minutes and 15 seconds longer smoking than she did talking in her quote-unquote reaction.
Damn, that's time as well. That's not just like, I thought, okay, like taking a fucking drag or a bong hit, that takes like 5 seconds, whereas a commentary section can take like 2 minutes. So, but they timed it. Oh my God, man. What are these smoke clips? How do you spend 17 minutes? 1855. How do you spend 18 minute 55? Is it all the coughing?
Talking she did was just to express how confused she was, presumably from smoking 42 times.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost the plot.
The complaint continues. Indeed,
holy shit, we got fucking court doc. Indeed, CaseyTron is often too obliterated. Is that in court documents? Is too obliterated to comment on the nuke and instead stares blankly at her computer screen. In a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, CaseyTron smokes marijuana, frequently in a highly concentrated form through a vaporizer, for nearly 19 minutes, which is 3 minutes more than CaseyTron speaks during her group viewing session. At one point, CaseyTron is so wasted that she states, "What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I lost the plot." Uber, thanks for the $5. React harder if you don't want to end up in the next lawsuit. Oh, I'm reacting. I'm smashing. Obliterated. She is so nuked.
CaseyTron is often too obliterated to comment on the nuke and instead stares blankly at her computer screen. In a span of 2 hours and 7 minutes, CaseyTron smokes marijuana, frequently in highly concentrated forms through vaporizers, on 42 separate occasions. At one point, CaseyTron is so wasted that she states, quote, "What is happening? I'm trying to follow, but I've lost the plot." To give you an idea, the majority of her commentary comes down to this.
I don't understand this bit that he's doing.
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
CPM's coming out of Qatar.
What the hell
you
is
kids love
going
anime,
on?
right?
He's read more books than you could ever imagine.
What is happening? I'm trying to follow. I've lost.
Bro, why do you even turn up in the morning? What the fuck? Like, I guess you gotta pay your bills and everything, but does this actually pay the bills? Does she? I don't even know. What's her viewership? What the? Hang on. Lance's next title is Ethan Mocks Addict. Oh God. Just stay in bed. Yeah, just stay in bed. Why do you even get up in the morning? What the fuck is wrong with you?
What?
It's so fucking retarded, man. If you are an anti-Ethan person and you know that anti-Ethan content is how you get the views, and you know that the content nuke is going to be a big step in that process, like a big step on the journey. Like if you're like, because there are events, okay? There are like holidays, okay? Or there are rather holiday purchasers. It's like wrestling, you know, there's like, you're going to turn up harder for WrestleMania than at the regular fucking Raw shows, or, okay? That makes sense, okay? We understand that. So if you're an anti-Ethan person, surely for the content nuke, you should just do a bit of pre-watching, a bit of reading. Or don't even do that. You don't even need to do that. Because everyone in your audience hates Ethan. They hate him. They don't care what you say. As long as you just do the react thing, right? Do the react thing where you can tell other people they've watched people like Vosh or Destiny or whoever like doing reacts, and then they want to do their own, but they're less informed or less prepared or less spontaneous or less witty. So they just kind of do the illusion, like the aesthetic of a react stream, where they'll just pause every 30 seconds, like when they remember to, almost by default, and then they'll just go, that's a dumb argument. What if actually wrong? Like, and then that would be fine. You would get more viewers doing that shit. You would get to do the vitriol. You get to do all that shit. Ironically, Hasan was the most transformative. Yeah, because he fucking yapped for 12 hours. The demon mama tactic. Yeah. Why don't they just do that? It's such a waste. This is like your WrestleMania of the year is reacting to something like this. And you're giving it nothing. You're giving it nothing. Just smoking. Just getting fucking blazed. Leaving the room. Why?
They do musicals. They're very musical people. I know. Are you being serious? Dog, what do you look? You think I made this? I know they're singing. This isn't a music video, Hasan.
And as dumb as all of that is, this is the part that really got her sued.
A lot of people have been wanting to watch this without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. Without necessarily supporting Ethan Klein. So we're gonna watch it. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, this is fucking wretched, man. This is like... Jesus.
Going on here?
Stating outright that her intention of doing this is so that people who don't want to support me can watch it through her is why copyright infringement laws exist. You could not and should not do that, especially if your commentary consists of you taking bong loads. At least try to engage with the content. Whoa, what was that? Oh, sorry. That was a flying star. It almost got me. You know her and you love her, guys. Frogan. Reaction by exiting.
No.
Here she is getting up to leave the video running as she steps out of the room. Is that transformative? I guess the judge will decide. She said, quote, "It's time to watch the new Nuke ethically."
Ethical consumption of the nuke. Yeah, I've seen, this is a thing that lefties have done for a long time, that, oh, I don't want to give it a view. Oh, how do we react to this? But I don't want to give this bad person the view. It's such a 2016, like, it's the kind of thing Vadim would say, like, oh, why would you watch this and give them the view? Fuck off, man. Like, it's one view, you fucking moron. You're already taking views for them, right? You're already taking, how many people are watching this right now? How many people are watching me right now? 1,800. You're taking that many views. Sorry, it's 1,600. I'm retarded. All right. Thing glitched. The views have been taken. Bro.
Hell yeah. Huh. Very smart to say on camera, by the way. She said, quote, "Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me." Well, you are so welcome. And I'm so glad that you were able to enjoy that day. Her commentary is so non-existent that even her own fans begin to call her out.
Does that have anything to say? Dude, because he's cycling the same fucking points over and over again. What more commentary do you need on him repeating the same fucking points for the whole first hour and 1 minute and 32 seconds? It's been the same shit over and over again. This video could have been condensed into 20 fucking minutes. Like, what commentary do you want me to add by, like, oh, this guy's a fucking idiot, he's mentally ill, and he's having a mental breakdown and uploaded it to fucking YouTube?
What do you want me to say?
One good point. What do you want me to make a point on?
Oh, I forgot. She also said, "Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing." You may use the bathroom, Frogan, although I don't advise it.
Can I use the bathroom, please? I'll leave it playing.
This into your stomach. And let me state the obvious. Jew and...
We're going to time the...
Apparently thinks Twitch is liable for me interviewing a Yemeni teenager who's only known genocide his entire life.
What happens?
And they were fucking talking about...
Well, you just pause it. That's it. You just pause the video, right? Like, you get up and you go to the bathroom, you just pause it. They should be watching for you. But if you get up to go to the bathroom and they keep watching my video, they're clearly not watching for you, right? As lazy and pathetic as her reaction is, this is not why she's getting sued. This is.
Thank you guys so much. I do appreciate everyone's support. And thank you for watching it with me. First time viewer, time to watch the Nuke ethically? Hell yeah. I found my way from Reddit. Hi guys, welcome Reddit people. Reddit people, Reddit people. I came from the H3 Snark Reddit. Ethan is so pathetic while Hasan is in Japan. I'm bothered having a great time. Exactly. We're gonna watch it live, yes. He doesn't want people to know when it's dropping because we're all watching through other streamers. And I suggest you all
at least, you know what, fuck CaseyTron. I mean, at least Frogan tries her best, you know? You can tell she's trying. She's like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say in this video? Like, she's trying. She's turned up. She's clearly like done her makeup a little bit. She's got her fucking glittery microphone. She's got her lights in the background. She's got her pictures, everything. She's turned up for the job. She's doing her best. And again, in this world, okay? In this world, all you've got to give is your best, okay? You don't have to be the best, but you have to try your best, okay? That's all. Hats off, okay? It's just a shame that this is her bet. All right, fuck.
Watch it through other people as well.
It's the stated malicious intent to steal. They talk about watching ethically, but I learned not to steal when I was 5. Up next is Denims. And honestly, just take a look at this, guys. It's a nightmare on Denim Street. Not only did she chair react, but she was kind enough to write her name right at the top just so that we knew that she was stealing my content and it was her room and nobody else's. Judge, did you know that we're on Denim Street right now? Here's some quotes from Denims. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't have to give the nuke views. Yeah, I'm going to stream it. Since he's confirmed it's coming out today, I'm going to stream it. That is very explicit. Denims said, quote, well, guys, if you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, give me a follow, subscribe, throw a prime if you like my content. Your content? The Queen of Self-Own included a countdown timer so we could tell exactly.
Hey, Denim, this would be the most difficult one, I think, because despite the statement, as far as I remember, Denims obviously did react a lot to this. Obviously, the reactions were a little bit intellectually devoid, a little bit dumb, a little bit guppy, but she did react, as far as I know, despite the empty chair. But I guess it's the intent, the fact that she said she was doing it so she could mog the channel. So this would probably be the hardest case to make.
How long she was away. After being gone for a few minutes, she returns and then sits silently for another couple of minutes eating.
I'm gonna go pee, and hopefully, when I'm back, they're done with this.
Wait, Vosh?
Right?
You do look better.
Mr. 305.
When's this?
Dude, you should do this.
I have an alternate.
Wait, is she just watching the whole fucking
On you to
podcast?
stay live so we don't give more views on the nuke. Yeah, I'm gonna stream it. Since he confirmed it's coming out today, we're gonna stream it. If you want to watch it with someone else who's already watching it. Come enjoy the watch party.
She's watching the
somewhere else.
podcast. Okay.
If you enjoyed not giving any views to that terrible video, follow, subscribe, throw a prime. If you like the content, if you enjoyed your time here, because I'm going to be honest, I did not want to watch that by myself.
Let me also commercialize it by asking you to reward me financially for stealing his content.
Fucking disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Matt Sugan, thanks for the 10 gifted subs. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Inbred, thanks for £5. Hey, Loner, my deepest condolences on your untimely demise. Off topic, but did you see the Casey report into the grooming gangs? Curious what your thoughts are. No, but I heard it's a new one, and apparently it's, well, I know it's going to say more about Muslims than the other ones probably did, because all the fucking people who take that line, they feel very vindicated by it, but they felt vindicated by stuff in the past that didn't really support them either, so who knows? We'll see. Yeah, we might look into it.
That is like chef kiss. By the way, Denims had a very successful stream. She had 43,000 people watching her live. Take a look at the title of her Twitch stream. Ethan Klein Hasan Content Nuke Watch Party. A watch party? I don't think that's fair use. Now, Denims, of course, always delivering the goods. She went on this dude's podcast to debate fair use. And would you be surprised if I told you she said a lot of incriminating things in that podcast? The Queen of Self-Own never disappoints.
I want to be clear on my opinion on like filler content and stuff. Like, I think filler content, like, you shouldn't do it. I know I do it as a React streamer. And I try to do it only when I do it with like Vox videos or Vice videos and stuff like that, because at least I'm not like directly ripping from one content creator and not like a whole team and stuff. And most of those videos have like 5 million views. I only get like 500 viewers. I'm taking maybe 50 views from the video. It's a lot harder to feel like, I guess, bad about that. Whereas like I would feel very bad about doing that to like a single content creator. The majority of people said that they literally wouldn't watch Hell's Kitchen unless I was streaming it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm reacting hard enough. I'm sure if you click on a random part in the video, I might not be saying anything, sure, whatever. And I might walk away from the screen. But it's about like the communal thing. It's why like fucking Toast started streaming Death Note. It's not about the actual show at a certain point. It's the same reason you watch shows with your friends. You want to watch it with other people. A lot of people go to watch streamers on Twitch for their React content almost as a curator. So they don't actually want to go through YouTube themselves and watch a bunch of videos, and they probably never will go through YouTube and click a bunch of videos. They like going to Twitch because they like to have it as like, this streamer is curating fun content that I want to watch.
Like, I'm sure
From the people that I've talked to, the people who watch Twitch content are specifically there.
Well, you're just stealing content. Like, I don't know why even like, it's just stealing content. That's it. All right. And I do think when it comes to legal precedent, there's going to have to be something, like some bar where either it all has to go, like all React content has to fuck off unless you just curate clips beforehand and just react to like 60-second pieces, or we find a threshold that it's like, yeah, you can do this thing, at least legally. Some people might have moral issues with it. But it's not worth trying to like enforce this against every React creator ever and fucking the entire space. We just need to look out for more obvious red flag behaviors, like, you know, getting out of your chair or offering no feedback at all, or like deliberately doing it with the intent of like, even to the point that you're trying to get a link of the video that's not from the channel, right? Something like that.
To watch it so they don't have to scroll through YouTube and find a video they like. If someone watches content, I already said this, if someone watches content on
ChudLogic got his Ethan cameo. Where did ChudLogic get his Ethan cameo? What? Where? Did I see ChudLogic here? Where the fuck was ChudLogic?
On someone else's stream, there is a very low likelihood that they're going to go watch it separately and give you like the view or the like, or the people who are watching content on Twitch, curated Twitch content on Twitch, aren't necessarily people that would be watching content.
This is his video. Oh, he hosted this debate, didn't he? Did he? What a networker.
The Hasan Nuke was bait for this. Truly Operation Piker Web.
Hey, that's the $10, Dingus. I appreciate it. Chud was the moderator. Yeah. I also was made aware recently of a ChudLogic stream post Hippy Dippy drama where he spoke to Chud about Demon Mama and Destiny and the judge vote. Like some stupid thing where there was a confusion with the judges and they thought Demon Mama won, but actually Destiny won. And Vadim was like very objective to it. Like he was objecting to it and started a whole fight about it. And then he went to talk to Chud the day after and like cried about it. I don't know, man. I was fucking mental. I did not know that video existed. This is Ethan's pager attack. Yeah, man.
Content on YouTube.
That, my friend, is called theft, and you're a thief. And now I'm suing you.
Uh-oh.
This is just a testimony to how brazen and how safe they've, gotten. That she thinks she can go out in public on video and say shit like, I'm stealing this content because I want to. I'm coping even though I know it's stealing. When people watch it with me, they're definitely not going to go watch the original. Like, you are way too comfortable committing crimes out in the open. Well, there you have it. 3 separate lawsuits for 3 separate geniuses. Now, I want to make it clear again, and I hope it's been obvious about why I'm suing these 3 people and not others. These people not only violated all of the principles of fair use, they also did it maliciously. And that's the part that really got me. I think if you're a reactor on Twitch, for the most part, if you make a good faith effort to comment, and if you make a good faith effort to promote the author, to link to them, to try to drive traffic to the original video, I think you're probably pretty much doing the right thing, and that's fine. And I would never sue someone for that. Take it to these 3 absolute morons to state their intention to steal my property on video.
These guys, not you guys.
And to all the detractors who are saying that I'm targeting women, that I'm a hypocrite for suing for copyright infringement, I just have this to say. I don't care. What I do hope, though, is that you'll support their crowdfunding efforts to defend themselves. Because let's face it, I want to make sure there's money left over for me when I win my lawsuits. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a great time.
Shit.
I'll see you around.
Bro. Well, listen, guys, that was a good ethical viewing, okay? We commented, we added our own opinions. We provided context to the arguments that would need to be made for it to be a strong take. We provided substantial critique, in some cases even derision, of the characters depicted in the piece of content. Didn't get up and walk away. Not even once. Not even once. Okay? And if I see you in court, everything I said about stealing content was all a joke. Okay? It's all a joke. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Look at the innocence in my eyes. Okay. Holy shit. Mark Tech, thanks to the 599. Between Zelensky, Mossad, and Ethan, we now have so many cool Jewish espionage operations. This definitely deserves the Lehi anthem in the background. Yeah, whoa. So how many lawsuits is that now? He's got Noah Samson. He's got Denims, Frogan, and CaseyTron. That I know of. Whoa. I'm guessing the full court docs will be public somewhere, right? They will be public somewhere. He never sued Noah, though. He gave Noah Samson a warning letter. I don't know if he's actually gone through the full thing yet, although my understanding is that he still will. It just takes time. I don't know. What about his housekeeper? Bro, I don't fucking know. But Ethan's going live in 30 minutes. Damn. Might have to react. Might have to do a react. Let's go. Gonna watch Carlson Cruz. Yeah, why not? Two retards fighting. What do we have here?
There's 3 different cameras, Haifa, Modin, and I
there
think you're
strikes
mostly hearing the
incoming?
Tel Aviv cam.
No, there aren't, because if there were, I would get people in chat saying it. Okay. The docs are in the description of the nuke. Of course they are. He's going after the proxies. I see. He's going after the proxies. That's clever. You know, you weaken the Axis by peeling at its shell. They're separate suits. I think these are separate civil suits. Separate complaints. Well, they're public. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Full names and everything. Dude. Goddamn. How tongue-in-cheek are legal complaints allowed to be when they do shit like this? Like, where's my full screen? Bro, where's my full screen? I want to full screen this. Prick. Like, how are they allowed to do this? Like, it's like the cover is just Denims with an empty chair, Nightmare on Denim Street. What? What? Oh, and obviously the precedent is his own lawsuit. Because they were involved in a React content lawsuit. Civil suit, whatever. Huh. What? Like most lazy reaction videos, blah, blah. 80 pages. Why is it 80 pages? Oh, is this about the snark shit? What the fuck? Why 80 pages? What happened? What'd she do? The alt-left's answer to Kellyanne Conway. Oh, it's Osama bin Laden's Death to America letter? Okay. Letter to America, sorry. Shoe on head. Balenciaga. ReactGate, Hasan Piker, Jinx. Where's all this fucking lore? The background of Snark. Wait, this sounds like such a meme. What the fuck? I want to read this now. This sounds like Giga memes. The fuck? WTF? H3 Snark is part of a genre of message boards known as subreddits. On the website, Reddit. Snark subreddits consist of fallen fans of a particular entertainer. Over time, there have been numerous Snark subreddits regarding TEI's podcasts and of decline. Many were banned by Reddit for violating its content policies, such as r/frenemies and frenemies2. Snark was created on August 30th, 2023 by Doe1, who was a fanatical Trisha Paytas fan. Doe1 became a fallen fan when the TEI series Frenemies ended abruptly in June 2021. H3 Snark became a haven for fallen fans. Bro, just do it privately on Discord, fucking losers. Do these guys even know? No relation. While the average viewer would move on with their lives after becoming disinterested in a podcast, H3 Snark fallen fans religiously watch TEI produced content with orgiastic hatred. Orgiastic hatred. What? Snark enables these deranged and chronically unemployed fallen fans to share their preserved pleasure of hate-watching TEI content with others by providing infringing clips and links to TEI content. Beginning in the fall of 2023, H3 Snark experienced a surge of new users who were fallen fans of the TEI series. Okay. The surge of new users exploded after October 7, 2023. The clients are dual Israeli-American citizens. Hila was born and raised in Israel, where she served as a secretary during her mandatory conscription into the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, to you guys. While both Ethan and Hila are highly supportive of Palestinian self-determination and extremely critical of Israel and its government, the clients support a two-state solution as the best interim solution to the conflict. In the wake of October 7th, Hassan emerged as the modern incarnation of the Grand Mufti Hajj al-Husseini. What the fuck? How is this in a fucking lawsuit? Sorry, a civil suit. Is this the Zionist kangaroo court that Noah Sampson was talking? That's fucking brilliant. Man, when your job is your hobby, eh? Like al-Husseini, Hassan became a passionate advocate and highly charismatic leader of the Palestinian cause. Like al-Husseini, Hassan used his massive platform to spread genocidal rhetoric about anyone advocating for the right of Jewish self-determination in their ancestral homeland, i.e. Zionists. Fucking Penny Morris. Hey, let's go. The primary difference between Hassan and al-Husseini is that al-Husseini worked with the Nazis and advocated the annihilation of Jews, while Hassan advocates the annihilation of all Zionists. Since the vast majority of Jews in the United States say caring about Israel is either essential or important, this would necessarily include the vast majority of Jews, even if they support the Palestinian cause and vehemently condemn the actions of the Israeli government. I mean, facts. Pictures of al-Husseini and Nazis. It's so fucking funny, man. Hassan's not even part of the case. Quote, Arabs, rise as one man and fight for your sacred rights. Kill the Jews wherever you find them. This pleases God, history, and religion. This saves your honor. God is with you. Is that a real quote? Maybe. On October 12th, 2023, the last episode of Leftovers aired. It comprised of a discussion between Ethan and Hassan regarding the Israel-Palestine conflict and the events of October 7th. During the discussion, Ethan expressed his support of the Palestinian cause and empathy for their suffering, along with condemning Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu At the same time, Ethan attempted to humanize the victims of October 7th to Hasan in the hope that empathy and mutual understanding could begin to heal the divide. Hasan was unpersuaded, and the relationship with Ethan and Hasan began to deteriorate. In the aftermath of the falling out between Ethan and Hasan, H3 Snark became a radioactive hub of fallen fans of TEI content and the Kleins. It became a focal point for spreading vicious lies, outlandish conspiracy theories, and hallucinatory misrepresentations about the Kleins. Mate. This is so funny. This is such a ridiculous. It's like he's like paying his lawyers extra just to bait Hasan, to make him mad, to trigger him. Yeah, it'll probably work. I like that's the no you hallucinatory, because that's what they say about him, right? The reverse Uno card. So I just read all of this. So I just read all 80 pages. Do lawyers charge by word count? Well, they charge by time, and obviously more words would usually imply more time. Despite their hatred towards the Kleins, the users of H3 Snark had an insatiable appetite for TEI's content. The H3 Snark users, however, did not want TEI to receive any views or advertising revenue from their consumption of TEI's content. As a result, Snark became a locus of copyright infringement of TEI content as detailed below. One method the H3 Snark mods employed to consume TEI content was to share links of TEI content on YouTube. Why did he spell YouTube like that? How do you make that mistake? Y-E-W tube. Oh, it's a different site. Okay, I'm sorry, stupid, dumb fuck. A website that provides unauthorized access to YouTube videos and publicly performs them, which constitutes copyright infringement. See Hunley v. Instagram 2023. Oh, YouTube. Keep reading, Gup. Listen, I need encouragement, okay? It's going to hurt my... It's not an easy task to just read fucking 80 pages on stream, okay? Out loud. With commentary, okay? I will need support. I will set a new goal, okay? And if I see that goal slacking, we're going to have huge problems. Chat. Isn't that what Vyvanse is for? Vyvanse gives you dry mouth, okay? You're doing great. Thank you, Revolful. That's really nice to hear. I appreciate that. I like that encouragement. Okay. I hope you're doing great too. I'm sure you are. Okay.
I want to hear every
And if you're not,
now.
happens to all of us.
This is
okay?
fantastic.
You'll do great another time, and you have done great in the past. I don't doubt it for 1 second. Captain Dan the Fireman, thanks for $10. I want to hear every page now. This is fantastic. Okay. Oh.
Legal box.
Thanks for $20, Jane Socks. That's so generous of you. My God. H3 Snark mods conducted live chats during TEI's live broadcasts. During the live chats, the H3 Snark mod would spam the chat with YouTube links of the broadcast. Once the live stream ended, the H3 Snark mods concealed the evidence of their copyright infringement by deleting live chat logs. Below are true and correct screenshots of the H3 Snark mods spamming the live chat with YouTube links to the TEI copyrighted content. Huh. Did they have a mole? Does that mean they have a mole? Or I don't know how you... Doe number 3, i.e. you/Sarah Horn Jewitts. You? What you? What? Okay. Whatever, dude. Oh, user, Reddit, okay. Encourage H3 Snark users to use YouTube as an alternative to watching the TEI's video on its official channel by commenting on certain posts. Doe number 3's comments were later wiped. Due to Doe number 3's efforts, the user was anointed as one of the H3 Snark mods. Some examples of Doe number 3, including copyright infringement of TEI content, are contained below. In August 2024, the U/Pearl Unicorn created the post for those who wonder why snarkers watch moments like the second button failure. Below is a true and correct screenshot of Doe number 3 stating, "We encourage folks to watch on YouTube since it doesn't play ads or contribute to their view counts." As can be noted, Doe number 3's comment was subsequently wiped from August 2024 post. Oh. Love that. Ooh, ooh. On August 28, 2024, the H3 Snark moderators created a post entitled Megathread The H3 Show, August 28, 2024. Below is a true and correct screenshot of doe number 3, providing a link to the TEI video on YouTube. As can be noted, the comment was wiped from the August post. This is such an intensive job, man. Fucking hell. Where did they get this? How would they have got these screenshots? When they say mod chat, are these in private mod chats? Like just the mods can see it? That means they had a mole. Or is it like it's a mod chat like in Reddit? I don't know. I don't know Reddit well enough. Under the H3 Snark wiki page for tools, tips, guides, H3 Snark mods also instructed H3 Snark users on how to create clips of TEI content so these clips could be posted on H3 Snark. At one point, the H3 Snark mods even instructed users on how to download members-only content. Ooh, so they could be posted on H3 Snark. To hide their inducement of copyright infringement, the Snark mods deleted the portion on downloading members-only content from the guide. A true and correct screenshot of the portion regarding members only. Okay. Oh. God damn it, the Hasan proxies. Getting paged to fuck. TEI issues takedown notices for infringing posts and comments on H3 Snark. TEI began to fight back against the copyright infringement on H3 Snark by issuing takedown notices pursuant to 17 USC section 512. TEI was extremely surgical about which H3 Snark posts would be subject to DMCA takedowns. Relying on the most pertinent fair use decisions, TEI issued DMCA takedowns only for posts and comments that upload an entire TEI episode to Reddit, particularly paywalled TEI content, comments that provided a YouTube link, okay, yeah, just how they do it, DMCA takedown. Oh, TEI issued a DMCA takedown. I remember this was public drama, right? Because it was a members only thing. God, there's so many of these. What, 3 now? 4? 5, okay. November DMCA takedowns. Okay. The H3 Snark mod's efforts to issue fraudulent counter notifications. The Snark mods made a concerted effort to issue fraudulent counter notifications to TEI's DMCA takedowns as detailed below. On January 15, 2025, Reddit informed TEI that a so-called counter notification was issued against both the 30th of August. I hate reading months like that. Takedown. Okay. The first fraudulent counter notification was issued on October 18th, 2024. Reddit informed TEI nearly 3 months later. On its face, the first fraudulent counter notification failed to satisfy the requirements of the USC section because it failed to include the issuer's address and telephone number, consent to jurisdiction and service of process, and a statement made under penalty of perjury. Further, the first fraudulent counter notification contained numerous indicia of being fraudulent because it was a single counter notification for posts made by 2 different users, and 2, it misrepresented that the 8/30/24 takedown was for the post and not the comment with the YouTube link. It was also evident that the first fraudulent counter notification was issued by the Snark mods because it was stated, "We are going to write to contest the removal of 2 posts from our subreddit under alleged copyright claims. We believe these reports have been filed by fans rather than the legitimate copyright holder." Ooh. Oh shit. Despite the fact that TEI's counsel contact information was provided in both the 8/30/24 takedown, name of the issuer was Michael Anderson, a generic name that would make it impossible to identify the issuer of the first fraudulent counter notification. Man, these fucking snarkers. Operating from the shadows. Fuck. Okay. I think the funny parts are gone. I don't care about fraudulent counter notifications. This is just them pretending that the copyright complaints, or hoping that the complaints were not made by Ethan himself. That's all it is. They create and register the nuke. Waiting room streamers. And parasitically leech off his audience by broadcasting immediately before or after his streams. Oh no. Hijacked the necessary and important discussion of the Israel-Palestine conflict and the Gaza war. They employed genocidal rhetoric that painted all Israelis as subhuman, warranting annihilation. The term Zionist lost all meaning and quickly mutated into a thinly veiled dog whistle for Jews. To combat the tsunami of hateful rhetoric, Ethan and Ela Klein, through TEI, created Content Nuke Hasan Piker. The nuke was written, shot, and edited from December 24 through January 25. On January 27th, i.e. 4 days before the nuke was publicly released, TEI submitted its application to register the nuke with the Copyright Office. Okay. It's got a registration number. Okay. The deposit copy varied slightly from the broadcast version of the nuke. First, the deposit copy did not contain the conclusion and sponsor segment that was contained in the broadcast version. Secondly, to prevent the nuke from being age restricted by YouTube, which would limit its reach, TEI was required to fully blur out the footage of the Houthis entering the bridge of the Galaxy Leader and black out the footage of Hamas releasing hostages from October 2023. Third, minor visual edits were made. Ultimately, all of the deposit copy was incorporated into the broadcast version of the nuke. Okay. The nuke. The nuke. The Nuke is a tragicomic documentary critiquing Hasan and Twitch. Do you think Hasan didn't react at first because of the IP registration? No. Hasan would have avoided reacting to the nuke because he is too much of a coward to defend himself without having a bunch of other people do it for him first. Lonerbox, please watch this. Please watch this Dave Smith Constantine on Piers Morgan. Please watch Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson. Lonerbox, please watch this. Fuck you. I'm reading this court document. Get out of here. Oh, like the stream. Doesn't cost you anything. Also, donate to the stream. That does cost you something, but it will make me happy. Thank you. The nuke can be divided into 7 sections. Okay. The prologue walks the audience through Ethan's thesis of the nuke that Hasan radicalizes his audience with genocidal and anti-Semitic terrorist propaganda. While admitting both of himself and Hasan are polarizing figures with controversial takes, Ethan explains he grew concerned with Hasan's rhetoric after hearing him excuse Russian and Chinese genocide and imperialism. Everything's a genocide. Bro. Chill with the fucking genocide. Cool it with the misuse of the genocide conventional remarks. Namely Hasan's positions on Crimea, Tibet, Taiwan, and the Uyghurs. Once October 7th occurred, Ethan's concerns were exacerbated. He received a torrent of anti-Semitic comments from Hasan's audience and saw Hasan downplay the sexual violence perpetrated by Hamas on October 7th. Ethan explains that the primary difference of opinion between him and Hasan and his audience, while both are aligned on supporting the Palestinian cause, including condemning Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli settlements, and settlers, they differ in one key aspect regarding how to solve the conflict. Ethan believes in a 2-state solution, while Hasan and his audience believe in a 1-state solution. There's more stark differences than that, but okay. Ethan articulates the concerns Israelis have with a 1-state solution. Israel's been at war with its Arab neighbors since the country's inception. As a nation of refugees, where'd you get that from? The idea of suddenly becoming a minority raises legitimate concerns, particularly for the Mizrahi Jews from Arab countries who were expelled from Arab countries. Ethan then shows archival footage of Hasan supporting terrorism, glorifying terrorists, admitting to hiding his power level, extremism, because it is a more palatable way to introduce young people into the radicalization funnel. Conceding to being a propagandist, expressing vitriolic hatred of liberals. Further points out that Twitch takes no action to moderate Hasan. Ethan ends the prologue by expressing his underlying fear that he played a role in mainstreaming Hasan and that he radicalized Ethan's audience. Twitch parody sketch. Okay, he's just summarizing the video, whatever. We've seen it. the Hezbollah section, Hamas section, the Twitch section, the Sabra section, not the goddamn Sabra section. Sneeko, Myron Gaines, okay. What section is this? Oh, okay. Conclusion. The countdown episode and its registration. Okay. Captain Dan the Fireman, thanks for $2. Bucks for the box. Ooh. Okay. Snark promotes Denims as a substitute to watching the nuke. Throughout January 2025, Ethan built up public interest in the nuke by frequently discussing it on the H3 show. The audience of Hasan and his waiting room, who comprised a large portion of the users on H3 Snark, anticipated the nuke with religious fervor to defend their proverbial Grand Mufti from criticism. Stop saying it! Oh my god. These fanatics, however, did not want to watch the authorized version, the nuke, because TEI would reap the benefits from views and resulting advertising revenue. Remember, it's just the view count of the streamer. It's not even the view of the audience watching the streamer watch the video. What the fuck? What? TF? Jordan, thanks for the gifted sub. I really appreciate that. I'm sure Caitlin A does as well. These fanatics, however, did not want to watch the authorized version. Okay. The H3 Snark mods knew that there was a huge demand to watch the nuke throughout unauthorized channels and promoted group viewing sessions of the nuke as follows. So this is dough number 3. Dough number 3, pinned community post. Did this to maximize the visibility of the first inducement post. Featured Denims as a place to watch the nuke without showing support for H3. A link was provided to her stream on Twitch. The first inducement post also stated that Denims supported H3 Snark by engaging directly with the mods. A true and correct PDF printout of the first inducement post. Okay. What are the complaints about? It's about copyright infringement on a protected video, it seems. Protected content. The inducement post was also a pinned community post that was featured at the very top of the Snark page to maximize visibility. Okay. The third inducement post was a pinned community post. Okay. The law of fair use and reaction videos. Let's go into that. What's the law? How long is the law bit? Oh my god. Hossein Zadeh? Is that how you say that? I guess we should see what the legal precedent is because I don't know it very well. Fair use is codified in Section 107 of the Copyright Act. The statute sets forth 4 non-exclusive factors courts consider to evaluate fair use. 1. The purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of a commercial nature or is for non-profit educational purposes. 2. The nature of the copyrighted work. 3. The amount and sustainability of the substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyright work as a whole, and the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. Yeah, the precedent was set by Rom, right? Ethan's lawyer. Yeah, because of their previous case. The first fair use factor relates to the problem of substitution, whether the new work supersedes or supplants the original. Warhol 598, okay. The central question is whether the secondary work adds something new with a further purpose or different character. The mere fact that a secondary use has some further purpose or adds something new does not render such uses fair, oh no. Rather, whether an allegedly infringing use has a further purpose or different character is a matter of degree, and the degree of difference must be weighed against other considerations like commercialism. While a use that has further purpose or different character is said to be transformative, transformativeness is a matter of degree. Indeed, an overbroad concept of transformative use, one that includes any further purpose or any different character would narrow the copyright owner's exclusive right to create derivative works. To preserve that right, the degree of transformation required to make transformative use of an original must go beyond that required to qualify as a derivative. I see. By this precedent, Loner is cooked. Yup. Come at me, bro. I don't know. I don't think I've ever reacted in a way that was as cynical and as flagrant as what Denims and well, definitely Frogan and CaseyTron. Like, Legal Eagle is on the side of the clients for this or for other things. The first factor also relates to the justification for the use, both in the broad sense and the narrower sense. A use is justified in the broad sense if it has a distinct purpose that furthers the goal of copyright, namely to promote the progress of science and the arts, without diminishing the incentive to create. A use is justified in the narrower sense when it is reasonably necessary to achieve the user's new purpose. Such justification is particularly relevant to assessing fair use where wide dissemination of a secondary work would otherwise run the risk of substitution for the original or licensed derivatives. I don't know if Legal Eagle's made a call. It's the previous case these supported declines, not this one. The question of justification is one of degree. Critical book review illustrates how a secondary use must be justified in both the broad and narrow sense. Serves a different purpose than the book. This may not always be so, and a court must consider each use within the whole to determine whether copywriting is fair. Okay. There are several indicia of when a use for criticism or commentary is not sufficiently transformative to justify a secondary use. When the commentary has no critical bearing on the substance or style of the original composition, the claim to fairness in borrowing from another's work diminishes accordingly. If it does not vanish, and other factors like the extent of its commerciality loom larger. Indeed, a loose topical connection with the original work is equally problematic. Damn. We're fucked, guys. We're so cooked. Smashed. When a defendant copies more than is necessary to facilitate comment or criticism. Oh, yeah. That's a problem, I think, because I feel like some people, if it were me, like I'd be fine with people reacting to, like I'd prefer they react to start to finish because I don't trust anyone to take clips in context. I don't trust anyone to do it. Like, fuck them. Even people who like me. The fuck? That's just my opinion, but when the use of the copyrighted work is not consistently transformative, Elvis Presley. Okay. Clips are played without much interruption, if any, used in excess of the benign purpose. The use of voiceovers, headlines, or captions, wholesale copying sprinkled with written commentary, fails to sufficiently transform a copyrighted work. Yeah. When a copyrighted work is used simply to illustrate what that work already depicts, the infringer adds no further purpose or different character, and copyright law treats the infringer as free riding on the inherent value of the original work. As mentioned, the degree to which a secondary use has a different purpose or character must be weighed against other considerations, like commercialism. The undisputed commercial character of the defendant's use, though not dispositive, tends to weigh against a finding of fair use. Commercialism examines the degree to which the new user exploits the copyright for commercial gain, as opposed to incidental use as part of a commercial enterprise. Courts consider whether the defendant was motivated by profits and profited from the publication. Oh, no. Okay. In the client's recent case, the one that actually set this precedent, the court found The first fair use factor favored fair use because the Klein video was quintessential criticism and comment on the Haas video, namely consistent mockery of Matt Haas's performance, dialogue, and plot lines. The Klein video was consistently transformative by interspersing relatively short segments of the Haas video with long segments of the Klein's commentary. Hey, let's go! Is the nuke out? It certainly is, Hangnails, yeah. The second fair use factor, i.e. the nature of copyrighted work, typically has not been terribly significant in the overall fair use balancing. This factor examines the extent to which the original work is creative and whether it is unpublished. Even when a work documents a real event, the work can still be creative because it is the product of many technical and artistic decisions. Ethan over Iran. Okay, wow. Nice one. Whether a work is published is defined by whether the author exhausted the right to control the first public appearance of the work. The fact that a work is published does not weigh in favor of fair use. Okay. Obviously. It's kind of basic. The second fair use factor weighed against a finding of fair use because the Haas video was a creative work, despite the work being published. The third fair use factor examines the quantitative amount and qualitative value of the original work used in relation to the justification for that use. Consequently, the third fair use factor circles back to the first factor because the extent of permissible copying varies with the purpose and character of the use. When the amount used is substantial with respect to the infringing work, it is evidence of the value of the copyrighted work. Indeed, copying an entire work militates, against a finding of fair use. If, however, the new user only copies as much as necessary for his or her intended purpose, this factor will not weigh against the new user. In Hosseinzadeh, the court found that the, let's say Haas, found that the, all right, let's see. 1 second. Fuck me. Loner sounded so sad. What, why? Do I sound sad? I'm just... I haven't done this much reading out loud on stream in a while. I bought Sabra out of spite. Wow. Oh god, I fucking hate how much my computer randomly freezes now on my Chrome. We need a solution. We need to clean the thing, maybe. I don't know. Dust it. Dust them up. Okay, the court found the third was neutral because while the Klein video copied a great deal of the Haas video, the extent and quality and importance of the video clips used by the Kleins were plainly necessary to the commentary and critique. Ooh. The fourth fair use factor is the undoubtedly single most important element of fair use. While the first fair use factor considers whether and to what extent an original work and secondary use have substitutable purposes, the fourth factor focuses on an actual or potential market substitution. Ah, that's big. I see. The fourth fair use factor encompasses both 1, the extent of market harm caused by the particular actions of the alleged infringer, and 2, whether unrestricted and widespread conduct of the sort engaged in by the defendant would result in a substantially adverse impact on the potential market for the original and the market for derivative works. Even when there is little direct evidence of actual market harm caused by the secondary use, to negate fair use, the plaintiff need only show that if the challenged use should become widespread, it would adversely affect the potential market for the copyrighted work. I mean, that's obviously, like, that's, yeah. Like, if every viewer got your videos from another fucking channel, right? Like, yeah, you'd be fucked. Let's change stream title. Reading the H3 Nuke. Court docs. The fourth fair use factor also must take into account the public benefits of copying will likely produce. In other words, does the use serve copyright's goal of enriching public knowledge? When the original work is associated with dangerous misinformation, it does not serve the public benefit and results in an actual reputational harm to the market for the original work, even when the primary markets do not meaningfully overlap. In Haas, the court found that the fourth fair use factor weighs in favor of a determination of fair use. The client video did not usurp demand for the copyrighted work, thereby resulting in a loss for the infringee or unjust enrichment for the infringer. To the contrary, the client video did not serve as a market substitute for the Haas video because the client video transformed the Haas video from a skit into fodder for caustic moment-by-moment commentary and mockery. Consequently, the client video did not offer a substitute for the original. Okay. And the Denims group viewing session failed to make fair use. Okay. How many timestamps is this? My God! It is readily apparent that the primary and overriding purpose of Denims' use of the Countdown episode was to commercially exploit a group viewing session of the Countdown episode and have it serve as a substitute for the original. This is evidenced by watching long sections of the Countdown episode without any or very little interruption, frequently for several minutes at a time. In a completely separate instance, Denims provides an empty chair reaction, i.e. letting the Countdown episode play while Denims is completely off screen. At a certain point, Denims informs her audience that she is going to pee. For 2 minutes and 21 seconds, Denims lets the Countdown episode play while she is off screen, relieving herself. When she returns, Denims is silent for an additional minute. In total, Denims' group viewing session of the Countdown episode was 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 56 seconds. During the group viewing session, Denims provided approximately 4 minutes and 43 seconds of brief and superficial commentary that usually has little critical bearing on the Countdown episode. 2, 43 seconds of partially related commentary on the Countdown episode that meanders into unrelated topics, and 3, 2 minutes and 12 seconds of unrelated or unintelligible comments. Wait, what? Unintelligible comments. Is this like when I just go Is that not allowed? Can I just go Fuck. Let's see the footnote. Yeah, what are the unintelligible comments? I need the link. Fuck me. So footnote 40. Timestamp. Oh, there's a few of them. Fuck. 220 to 23:39. 2020. Okay, where's the... Located on the flash drive of Exhibit K. Oh, you might not be able to get this anymore because it would be taken from Twitch. In simple terms, out of a total runtime of 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 56, the Countdown episode played uninterrupted for nearly 88% of the total runtime. Holy fuck. Denims also had the Countdown episode take up approximately 3/4 of the screen, while she only occupies approximately 1/4 of the screen that de-emphasizes her presence. I see. Interesting. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the transformative react to this court document. Don't mind me. Fuck. Denims' use was clearly commercial. Not only did she receive paid subscriptions, donation, and advertising revenue, during her group viewing session, she used the Countdown episode to advertise her group viewing session of The Nuke, as evidenced by... Earlier on in her group viewing session, Denims adds a cryon at the top of the screen stating, Content Nuke drops at 1:30 p.m. PST. Early on in her group viewing session, Denims adds a countdown timer for when the nuke will be publicly released. 3, encouraging people to watch her group viewing session of the nuke by stating, if you want to watch it, you know, come enjoy the watch party somewhere else. As to the second fair use factor, the fact that the Countdown episode was simultaneously broadcast with Denims' group viewing session does not weigh in her favor. Further, while containing numerous factual elements, the Countdown episode contains numerous creative elements which weigh against fair use. As to the third fair use factor, the factor weighs heavily against fair use. It is readily apparent Denims' use was excessive for any potential criticism of the Countdown episode, particularly in light of the minimal level of commentary and highly commercial nature of Denims' group viewing session.
Great reactions, Lonerbox. Don't want a Klein pager to wind up in your hands.
Hey, thanks for the 1999, the devil. I appreciate that. That's crazy, chat. Wow. Wow. Crazy. The fourth and most important fair use factor weighs heavily against fair use. Okay. Broadcasting her group viewing session at the same time the Countdown episode was broadcast, showing nearly the entire Countdown episode with minimal commentary. The first inducement post, the second inducement post, and the third post by the H3 snark mods. D, due to Denims siphoning the audience for the Countdown episode to her group viewing session, TEI lost views and advertising revenue it would normally receive from the individuals who watched Denims' group viewing session instead of the Countdown episode. If Denims' conduct were to become widespread, i.e. simultaneously broadcasting a TEI episode with minimal commentary, it would result in further lost views and advertising revenue to TEI. Denims' group viewing session failed to make a fair use of the nuke. As demonstrated below, Denims' group viewing session of the nuke exemplifies her beliefs about copyright that she expressed during ReactGate. Denims' group viewing session of the nuke epitomizes her unfounded opinion that copyright infringement and fair use principles are inapplicable in the context of live streaming, particularly on Twitch, her misguided notion that she is not obligated to transform a copyrighted work with substantial critical commentary and editing, and 3, her narcissistic and misplaced sense of privilege that her personality is sufficient to justify the highly commercial, unauthorized exploitation of a copyrighted work in its entirety. Guys, I am quite cute, okay? And you should probably remind most people that you would not watch shit were you not doing it with my vibe. Occupying at least at least 15% of the screen. Denims' group viewing session of the nuke was the pinnacle of her career. At its peak, Denims' group viewing session of the nuke received approximately 45,800 concurrent viewers. This was exponentially more concurrent viewers than Denims ever received in her entire career. Denims' group viewing session of the nuke also put Denims' online career into overdrive. In the days leading up to her group viewing session, Denims' peak concurrent viewers ranged from approximately 3,000 to 4,500. After her group viewing session of the nuke, Denims' concurrent viewers ranged from 5,100 to 6,700. Below are true and correct screenshots from the page. Jesus. One little boost, eh? One chomp. It is readily apparent that the primary and overriding purpose of Denims' group viewing session of the nuke was to provide a substitute for the original. It is equally obvious that any commentary of the nuke was an afterthought. Denims made numerous statements explicitly stating her group viewing session was intended to serve as a substitute for the nuke. Ethan Klein, Hasan Content Nuke, watch party, this is not a drill. We're relying on you to stay live so we don't give more views to the nuke. Oh no. She replies with, yeah, I'm going to stream it since he confirmed it's coming out today. We're going to stream it. Immediately prior to and throughout Denims' group viewing session of the nuke, she prominently displayed a crying at the top of the screen watching the nuke. Okay. She responds to a chatter saying, unfortunately, we are watching the content nuke. Okay. I mean, seems it was pretty fortunate though, right? Like in a very financially literate sense of the word fortune. If you enjoyed not giving views to this terrible video, hell yeah. She has cooked pure carbon.
Honestly, watch and enjoy your content more than streaming services. Have my Netflix bucks.
Oh, thank you so much, ACS. Thanks for the $20. ACES. Is that how I say it? Animator Broman, that's a 199. DW, we're lonering our boxes right now. Loner boxing it. Yes. Wow. This seems like it's going to get tossed immediately. There isn't a ton of precedent. Isn't there a ton of precedent? For this level, I don't think so. But you can show me if you want. Some of this precedent was set by Ethan's lawyer, so... Or at least in court, in a court case that involved him. Later, after streaming, I found that I signal boosted by Hasan, Hascored in the subreddit, H3 Snark, all those people who didn't want to give the video another view, which is why they watched it with me. Probably a lot of people because they ended their H3 show immediately before releasing the video. Probably a lot of people that came to watch it here because they wanted to see what someone would disagree would say. Someone who disagrees would say. How much money can you get in a lawsuit? I have no idea. H3 did get sued and it failed, but H3 got sued because, and the suit failed because he was able to show that his reaction was substantially transformative and that they didn't just use the whole video uninterrupted, like, or barely interrupted. It's very different from H3's case. Now, why it would be too different from someone like me with some of my reacts, I may be less sure, but who knows? Who knows? I mean, I know why it's different from like most of my any reaction that I upload to my channel as a segment. Like this is different. I can defend that easily
leftists
morally.
Act like suing is inherently immoral and being sued is inherently virtuous. I thought leftists were opposed to reaction. Laugh.
Hey, thanks for the £10. Thanks very much. Denims' attempt to feign ignorance of H3 Snark is transparently, brackets, and comically false. Rather, it is clear that Denims and the H3 Snark mods coordinated their efforts. Indeed, after ending her group viewing session of the nuke, Denims' screen shows that she had the H3 Snark subreddit on her screen the entire time. Oh. Exhibit K. Lawyers. Please do not call that react. Noise that I did, an unintelligible comment, okay? There's great value, okay? It's idiosyncratic. Fuck you. Denims begins her group viewing session of the nuke 1 minute after the nuke was released to the public. The timing demonstrates that she did not pre-screen it to formulate her opinions prior to broadcast. Rather, Denims timed her group viewing session to occur immediately after the nuke was released to capitalize on the great public interest in the nuke and siphon as many viewers as possible away from the original to herself. In other words, her priority was to personally and financially benefit from providing a substitute for the original, and any commentary and criticism was a mere afterthought. On 74 separate occasions, Denims' group viewing session consisted of watching the nuke for 30 seconds or more with no commentary whatsoever. 30 seconds. Or at most an unintelligible word or phrase. What's she saying? What's she doing in their streams? In total, these excerpts comprise over 70 minutes of the nuke, i.e. 70% of its total runtime. The poverty of Denims' commentary, coupled by frequently showing long, unadulterated portions of the nuke, further demonstrates that the overriding and dominant purpose of Denims' group viewing session was to serve as a substitute for the original and not to provide critical commentary. Okay. That's a big long list. For the majority of her group viewing session, Denims speaks briefly after showing a much longer excerpt of the nuke. The fact that the excerpts Denims shows of the nuke frequently eclipse her statements further emphasizes that the primary purpose of her group viewing session was to provide a substitute for the original, and any commentary was merely an afterthought. Again, okay. She admits she is not providing sufficient commentary. Oh. Because she does not want to pause frequently. Oh no. What a... Oh shit. This further emphasizes the primary purpose of her group viewing session was to watch the nuke, and any commentary was an afterthought. If I sat here and explained why he was wrong for like half of these things, we would be here for another 20 hours. I've gone in and tried to explain why he's incorrect on like 1 in every 10 incorrect takes because I'm not trying to spend an entire week here. Do you have a lawyer? Yeah. Don't worry. I don't even understand what to say about because, yeah, this is wrong because of this. Another wrong take, another wrong take. Okay, well, I just paused it for 10 minutes. I feel bad pausing it again because surely there will be something better here. Denim's admission that she failed to address the majority of points raised in the nuke is self-evident. This further emphasizes that Denim's primary purpose was to host a group viewing session of the nuke and that any criticism was an afterthought. All the repetition. What if Hasan sues you? If Hasan sues you, I will literally obliterate his ass, his white ass in court because literally I, more than anyone else, Hasan literally gets me pausing every fucking 10 seconds. Like, he forces me to pause every 10 seconds because he can't go more than 10 seconds without saying the most retarded shit imaginable. CaseyTron. Breaking news, guys. Sorry, breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. CaseyTron is suing Ethan. RIP. Talk about making a rod for your own back. I literally said, Queeman, have you not seen me earlier on? Yeah, I steal content. Yeah. What I do as a React streamer would probably not hold up in fucking fair use court. My job is just to do what I can, do my best, try to be as ethical as possible with my capabilities. And if that train ends, I'll make video essays and I'll debate people and I'll do other shit. Fucked. Oh. At 4:38:37, Lonerbox interjected with unintelligible blubberings. I don't even understand what to say about because, yeah, this is wrong because of this. Denim's admission that she failed to address the majority of points raised in the nuke is self-evident, okay? Fails to address the following points raised in the prologue of the nuke. Ethan's criticism of Hasan's takes on Russian and Chinese imperialism and genocide, particularly Crimea and the Uyghurs. The torrent of anti-Semitic comments Ethan received from Hasan's chat after October 7th. The primary difference of opinion between Ethan and Hasan on the Israel-Palestine conflict. Footage showing Hasan supporting terrorism and expressing hatred of liberals. And 5, Ethan's concern that Hasan radicalized his audience. Denims fails to address the majority of the Twitch parody sketch. Fails to address the following points raised in the Houthi section of the nuke. Ethan's criticism of Houthi atrocities, namely recruiting child soldiers, shelling and blocking aid to civilians, ruining agricultural land, oppression of women and slavery, including how this contradicts leftist values, how Hasan violated Twitch's community guidelines by promoting and glorifying Houthi propaganda to Nick, including the Houthi music video and the hijacking of Galaxy Leader. Ethan's criticism of Hasan's glorification of another Houthi music video and its juxtaposition to the Miami Boys choir. The majority of Ethan's criticisms of Hasan holding himself out as a journalist and his interview of Al-Haddad. The evidence demonstrating that Al-Haddad is a member of the Houthis. And 6, how Hasan uses genocide as a... Hasan's not even in the fucking court case. The fuck? Genocide to deflect criticism. Fails to address the following points. It's just points of the nuke. Okay, so it's reiterating points of the nuke that she's failing to address. At 6 hours and 23 minutes, Lonerbox interjected by playing World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore. And I'm saying Sev by not interjecting by playing Baldur's Gate 3. True. Oh. Isn't it weird that a lot of these clips are like 5 seconds short, not 5 seconds long, 5 seconds short? She mocks the nuke for making fair use of third-party clips. Okay. This statement reveals Denim's complete and total ignorance of fair use, particularly in the context of reaction videos. When Denims does speak during her group viewing session, most of her statements are brief, particularly in relation to the preceding segment shown of the nuke, and have no critical bearing for minimal critical bearing on the style or substance of the nuke. Below are examples. That's a lot of timestamps. Holy shit. Pokimane. Moroccan ancestry. Okay. Superficial comments with little elaboration. Oh no. She frequently expresses confusion about a particular excerpt of the nuke she just watched because she didn't pre-screen. Okay. I mean, you can be confused for multiple reasons, but okay. So is there a second content nuke? What do you mean? Am I deafened? I hope I'm deafened. Yes. In the section of the nuke discussing Hasan's apologia of the China's genocide and enslavement of the Uyghurs, she claims that Ethan fails to point out Hasan is wrong. Okay. Dating and Money is not a Hasan fan. This is all the self owns, I guess. Destiny, calling Keffel's inbred. Okay. Due to Denim's inability to critique the style or substance of the nuke, she frequently goes on long and completely unrelated tangents that have nothing to do with the style or substance of the nuke. Apology of Chinese imperialism and authoritarianism, goes on a nonsensical tangent about the Chinese credit score system, which is not discussed or referenced in the nuke whatsoever. You think with Noah it would be a different case? Yeah, I think with Noah his case is probably, to me it appears a lot weaker. With this one, I don't know, like my impression of reading about copyright, not that much, but I read a bit of it a few years ago when I started making YouTube videos. My impression of copyright is that basically everyone who reacts to from start to finish of a video is violating copyright. That's my understanding. Like, if you're going from start to finish of the whole thing, yeah, you are probably violating copyright. And on the YouTube space, there's a kind of like unofficial moral standard that people set, like, you know, getting up out of your chair and leaving is kind of disrespectful. Adding no commentary for the entire thing is disrespectful, or fuck all. Saying that you're watching it because you don't want to give them a view, like stating that intent is quite disrespectful. Like, yeah, we've got kind of things that we agree on in that sense, roughly, for why like some React streamers get a lot more heat than others. Like, that's quite clear. But as far as I see, like pretty much all of it is not up to the task. But we'll see. Oh. After Ethan's critique of Frogan, Denims goes on a protracted tangent about how Frogan is more American than her. Okay. True to form, Denims makes statements based on hallucinatory misrepresentations of the contents of the nuke. By shadowboxing an imaginary version of the nuke completely divorced from reality, Denims fails to address the actual style or substance in the original. Some examples include: in the section of the nuke concerning Ethan and Hasan's discussion shortly after October 7th, Ethan critiques an online figure supported by Hasan who legitimizes killing Israeli infants by calling them baby settlers, and Hasan's attempt to justify the use of the term. Denims misrepresents the excerpt and claims Ethan called Palestinian infants baby terrorists, and Hasan attempted to humanize the infants of Israeli settlers. Okay. The section where Ethan critiques Hasan's head mod, Denims claims that Ethan called Frogan the head mod, despite Ethan never making such a statement. Okay. After Ethan explains that he is now called a Nazi after advocating a two-state interim solution, Denims claims Ethan asserted that Hasan told people to call him a Nazi, which Ethan never claimed. So if we want you to make more video essays, we need to bribe the judge to make React streams illegal. Yep. Get on it. And in that case, you might also have to figure out a legal workaround from the group debate struggle sessions whilst playing video games. Because that's my own content. That's my own generated work. You can't get around that. Not happening. After Ethan critiques Hasan's claims that the Houthis hijacked ships to cause Israelis to leave Israel from the economic inconvenience, Denims rewrites the excerpt by claiming Hasan stated the Houthis are placing economic pressure on Israelis and induce them to pressure their government to end the war in Gaza. Okay. After Ethan shows photographs he took in Israel of Mizrahi Jews preparing and selling hummus, Denims makes the bizarre claim that Ethan is assuming they are Israelis, despite Ethan having just explained that they were photographs of Mizrahi Jews from Israel. Man, what the fuck? I need to watch this react. That's what I need to do. I need to watch this reaction. That sounds really funny. Misleading or false, unwillingness to substantiate her assertions, further emphasize primary purpose was not to critique, but to provide a substitute. Yeah, lots of reiteration. Lots of reiteration. Repeatedly claims that Ethan praised Israel's former Minister of Defense, Yoav Gallant. Hila critiqued Prime Minister Netanyahu by stating just the other day, Bibi fired a really good guy. Okay, the good guy statement, whatever, dude. States that propaganda does not require lying. I would actually say this is true. I think you can do propaganda without lying. You lie in a way, you lie by omission. But you don't have to say anything that's factually false to do propaganda. Nazi salute, Galaxy leader. Denims claims that it is impossible that 60% of Israelis are from the Middle East. Unsurprisingly, Denims' statement is baseless. A 2019 peer-reviewed study found that well over 55% of Israeli Jews are either fully or partially Mizrahi, Sephardi, or Ethiopian heritage. More recent data from the Jewish People Policy Institute confirms that a substantial majority of Israelis self-identify as Mizrahi or mixed origin. Denims misleadingly claims that the Houthis were designated as a terrorist organization only after Hasan's January 16th interview. Haddad. Okay. Redesignation. Oh, Biden redesignated them. Yeah. One day after, right? Feels weird to put these parts in. Yeah, I don't know. Like, so if your reactions are uninformed, is that part of fair use? Don't know. I don't know if fair use should care whether or not you react badly in terms of, like, if you lie in your reaction. I don't know. After the section where Ethan critiques Hasan's coverage of the release of Israeli hostages, Denims claims that YouTube does not require censoring such footage and implies Ethan is doing so to obfuscate the facts. Okay. Makes an outlandish claim that Hamas treated the Israeli hostages well. Bro. At what point did she say this? At the time of the Content Nuke release. That's kind of insane. That's insane. Amnesty report. Keep waving. Claims that the New York Times and Biden had to retract claims of rape occurring. Yeah, that's completely false. What? Confusing 40 beheaded babies or beheaded babies with rape. Okay. UN report affirmed by other wankers, UK, European Council, ICC, okay. Frogan. Denims, okay. Jokes about 9/11. Okay. Fucking Sabra section, okay. Denims, who is not Jewish, makes the grotesquely bigoted statement that it is anti-Semitic to associate Zionism with Judaism. Okay. To say that they're the same thing would be false. To associate them, if that's the exact wordage, then yeah, of course they're fucking associated. What do you mean? Jesus. Shortly after, a chatter confronts Denims by explaining that approximately 90% of Jews are Zionists. It's probably less than 90, but majority for sure. Without any substantiation, Denims claims this was derived from a poll with a sample size of 26, and that 1/3 of Jews think Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. God, is she just getting all her information from like poorly remembered or jumbled up like Twitter headlines? Because I know that the 30% she's referring to is the 30% of fucking Jewish youth, according to one poll, had some sympathy for Hamas. But the same Jewish youths also said that they were Zionists, like the majority of them. So, fuck. Pew 2019-2020, 82% of American Jews considered caring about Israel to be essential or important to what it means to be Jewish. Another poll in December 2024 of 800 American Jewish adults, 70% think anti-Zionist movements are anti-Semitic by definition. Ooh. I did not know that. That's a big one. Where she does, on rare occasions, cite sources, she completely misrepresents the source material. This further evidences that she was utterly unprepared to provide criticism of the nuke, and the extent of her criticism suffers as a result. During the section where Ethan discusses the forced expulsion of Mizrahi Jews from Arab countries, Denims makes the maliciously ahistorical assertion that Jews were treated well in Arab countries, even claiming to be well read on the subject. It is evident that Denims fundamentally fails to grasp the horrors Jews endured in Arab countries. For example, Denims claims that Vichy France sent Moroccan Jews to Israel. They absolutely did not. To support her claim, Denims pulls up the Wikipedia article entitled History of Jews in Morocco, but strategically conceals the Wikipedia article's title. The Wikipedia article refutes her well-read assertion. Vichy France sent Moroccan Jews to Europe to be exterminated and not Israel. Further, it is painfully obvious that Denims either did not read the Wikipedia article or failed to understand it. The article documents 1,000 years of Moroccan Jews being massacred, subjugated under the Dhimmi apartheid system, including forced to pay jizya, wear certain clothing, live in certain areas, employ restrictive modes of transportation, and prohibited from engaging in certain types of work. Rape, state-sanctioned abuse, destruction of synagogues, ethnic cleansing, and forced conversion. One of the most tragically absurd episodes documented in the Wikipedia article involved the Sultan finally allowing the Jews of Fez to wear shoes. Oh no. God. So many Jews were slaughtered by their Arab neighbors as a result that the Jews of Fez begged the Sultan to repeal the edict, which he did. Denims makes the incendiary claim that Ethan is scared of Arabic and the Muezzin call. What the fuck? Huh. Repeatedly glorified terrorism, blah, 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 blah. Okay, anti-Semitism carries water for Clancy. Dan Clancy, oh no. Group viewing session, number of occasions. God, it's very detailed. It's very word count. God. As to the third fair use factor, this factor weighs heavily against fair use. It is readily apparent Denims' use was excessive for any potential criticism of the nuke, particularly in light of minimal level of commentary and highly commercial nature of Denims' group viewing session. This is especially true when Denims repeatedly provides brief statements, many of which have little to no critical bearing on the nuke. After showing long unadulterated segments of the nuke, group viewing session, if it became widespread, waiting room, okay. First claim for relief, second claim for relief. So what's the first one? Direct copyright infringement, contributory copyright infringement against the mods. Oh, prayer for relief. Pray for the... Do they have to do this in America? Pray. Is this like a UK thing as well? Are they using Denims instead of her real name for a reason? Don't know. Huh. Okay. Demands a jury trial. Let's go. God damn it. What a fucking state. Okay. I had someone who was going to jump into the VC, and it's not Spider, but we'll see what Spider's saying too, I guess. Hello, sir. Spidair. Why is he deafened? Why is he fucked? 1 minute. The lawyer's name sounds like possibly an Arab name. He's Iraqi. He's Iraqi Jewish. Of Iraqi heritage, you might say. When are you suing Spider? I really should sue Spider, okay? He is the worst offender. He is a gross violator. I wouldn't even need to sue him. I would just have to do the copyright remove and threaten them. I'm not doing that though. We have there's an understanding, I think. Oh! What's going on?
That's from Ynet.
I don't believe there's any breaking news. Okay. Oh no. What is the fallout here? What's the fallout?
Thing about this. Usually you have argued, take away my ability.
There you go from earlier.
We don't have a full doc, so do what
I feel like for Ethan to say, and I think there's a lot to explain beyond what's in the video, just because it's like
Supplement.
the video is very concise. It's short to the point, but
I didn't want to get bogged down in legal stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the legal stuff
actually,
is like fucking.
I'm gonna do.
It's so long. That's just for Denims. There's one for Frogan and one for, like, there's Frogan here as well. 64, and the CaseyTron one's not even out yet, because they're gonna have. Because they're also gonna have to do all the times that she took a drag of her fucking that she smoked. She took a drag of her fucking vaping. Oh god. Her vaporizer. Shit. Absolutely fucked. They're gonna have to unleash the smoke counter on CaseyTron.